Hello YouTube, my name's Alex. Welcome back to the Lifting Nomad. And I talk a lot about remote work on here, but I don't really see too many videos on YouTube or on LinkedIn about actually people getting these jobs. Like, how did they start? Did they, get a referral? Did their dad own the company? However it was. So I thought it would be a really good use of time to spend maybe 10 minutes or so and walk through exactly how I got my first $100,000 job. So it was a BDR, it was an account executive job in tech sales. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm going to omit the name of the recruiters, the interviewer, as well as the referral, but you'll see Alex and we'll call the other person T for the sake of this video. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Boom. Okay, so first things I want to say before we start is just to preface how important having an up-to-date LinkedIn is if you're trying to get a job for a company like a tech company. If you want to freelance or do an agency kind of role, you definitely don't need one. You can do your own thing and generate revenue that way. But if you're looking to work for the man, you want a corporate job for a tech company, you're likely going to need a LinkedIn. It's the first thing recruiters are going to look for. So with that being said, you should be able to see now on your screen the first LinkedIn mail. So this is actually going to be a thread of how I worked with a manager of sales at a very large tech company to become my champion to advocate for me internally to get this role. So I'm no longer at this company, but that's why I thought it'd be relevant to explain. So this actually happened during COVID as well, so it's definitely relevant for the remote world. So let's get into this. So first things first, I just cold message this individual and say, hey, hi T, let's say. Saw your post about AEs at blank, was hoping to connect regarding the opportunity. Are you responsible for the open positions as well as BDRs? So she was actually a BDR manager, not my sales manager. Also saw you're teaching at blank. I'm actually alumni and it was one of my accounts at Top Hat. Top Hat was a company I used to work for that was an ed tech, a higher ed tech company. Are you using Top Hat by chance? She gets back to me a couple hours later. Hey Alex, thanks for connecting. I'm not responsible for both, but I'm coordinating with the AE teams for recruitment efforts. Yes, I am, but we are not using Top Hat. Pretty standard conversation so far. Too bad, double checked your name in our Salesforce and you weren't a customer yet. That's awesome either way. So I did a little bit of digging to find out if she actually was using our product. We were selling to professors at schools and she was not actually using it. So from there, I said, very interesting learning more about the opportunity. I made this video for you to provide a bit of information about myself. So what I did there was actually sent her a loom or a vidyard, I think it was at that point, of myself, just introducing. Typically with people, they want to connect with people, right? So having a video, like this, where you can see me, you can hear me, it's way better than just writing an email or talking in LinkedIn. So up until this point, she hadn't heard from me, she hadn't seen me. So sending that vidyard kind of breaks that connection and is definitely standing out. Not many people are doing things like that. Then she doesn't reply. So I said, any thoughts on the above video? Doesn't reply to that either. Way she goes, she's a busy person. So I said, hey T, no need to reply if it's not a good fit. As an aside, we've been looking at a lot of video prospecting as a tool for outreach during times that a lot of campuses and phones are closed, as it hasn't been as fruitful. Imagine you already are, but this article from Vidyard was incredibly valuable, talking about the best practices for video prospecting. Thought it may be of value to you and your BDR team. So I'm sending her value throughout this entire conversation, right? So best of luck in the search. Alex, left it at that, left the ball in her court, no firm ask. From there, she replies, hey Alex, sorry for the delay. I just saw, sorry I cropped this off poorly, but it said, just saw your video and just saw this message. Love the video and the tips. You're a great prospector and definitely demonstrating your skills. Love the creativity. Have you applied for the AE role online yet? Now, typically with tech companies, you can apply online and then you'll see posts about this on LinkedIn of people complaining that, they're not getting any interviews, nobody's replying. Well, you're going the normal channels. And because they get thousands and thousands of applications, everybody wants these jobs. They're high paying remote. The best thing you can do is kind of go around the doorman into the back door by metaphorically, by talking to people who work for that company. So I said, I have not. Typically there's thousands of applications, this is where I'm getting this from. Usually find there's more value in both parties for reaching out directly to the recruiter. So that's why I reached out to her in the beginning, because she had put on her LinkedIn, recruiting for X position at X company. With that being said, I'm happy to submit an application, but there's a few postings of mine. Is there one specific you had? She replies almost right away, hey, I hear you. Why don't I send you a referral link to bypass the process? And then I can give a recruiter a nudge for you. So already, even if the conversation ends here, I'm ahead of where a lot of people have made it. Now it goes to, sounds great. Sorry for filling up your inbox. I imagine you have a lot of people reaching out. And it's like, awesome, I'll send that over the next couple of hours. Can you just ping me when you're done filling it out? Then I'll surface it to my recruiter. So again, double ending it there. And don't be sorry, I post on here for a reason. Your outreach definitely got my attention, sign of a good salesperson. So she's already kind of batting for me by this conversation alone. Yep, will do. I'll fill it out as soon as you send it over and send you a ping. Top Hat is currently doing a crazy good referral bonus, so maybe blank is too, and can be a win-win for both of us. So a lot of times these tech companies have referral bonuses for bringing people into the company. So if you can actually find someone like this who's going to recruit you, they can actually get an incentive and money for doing it. Okay. Then she replies, haha, true that. I think you'd be a great addition. Looking forward to seeing your application. Next, hey, just finished the application. Anything else you need from me? Nope, that's it. I'll ping my recruiter. Amazing, thank you. Looking forward to next steps. You're welcome. If I don't hear back within a week, feel free to send me a note. So she's even saying if the recruiter doesn't contact me, she's basically guaranteeing this recruiter is going to at least speak with me. I'm not going to get the job at this point, but she's going to say I'm going to get a foot in the door. So will do. Last week was BDR SDR Appreciation Week. You probably know I'm responsible for bringing outreach strategies to the team on a weekly basis. If I were to send you a few articles that we found useful, would that be valuable to you and your team? So again, I'm always trying to send more and more value. So this person, kind of law of reciprocity, is going to get invested in my success and want to go to bat for me internally and have that champion sort of status in her company. I always take new ideas and advice, so absolutely send along. You can send it to my email, blank. Perfect, thanks for the intro. Will do, thanks for the intro. We'll keep you posted. You're welcome, good luck. Hey, just want to keep you posted and say thanks again. Meeting with the RVP this week for the interview. Did you get the resources I sent over? So I didn't just say I was gonna send her some stuff. I actually did send her, right? Hey, you're welcome, I heard you were meeting with blank, and yes, I did, thanks, but I haven't had a chance to look, to be honest. No worries, just trying to provide some value. That's the same message. Not sure who just yet I'm interviewing with. Just sent the interview prep and is to get back with who I'm meeting to prepare. Realize this is the big ask of you, but would you be open to jumping on a quick 10-15 minute Zoom call just to provide some insight before the interview? If not, all good. So again, really, really soft ask, all good, no worries. If it's too much of a problem. But because I've already given her so much value for free, like she's done really nothing for me. All she did was flag a box saying this is a referral and pinged a recruiter on Slack. Super easy. She spent like 20 seconds. I've spent, an hour between all these resources I found, sending her this video. Really, at this point, she owes me one. Hey, yes, no problem. We'll be happy to help. Do you have the date and time yet? Not yet, either tomorrow or Friday. Realize the tight timeline. Would you have any availability later today? I don't, unfortunately. I'm back to back until 7. How about tomorrow? Blah, blah, blah. That's great. I'll send you a calendar invite. What's your email? Yep, that's perfect. Hey, blah, blah, blah. This is just like basic sort of banter. Person. So I want to say thanks again for taking the time to help. I just sent you something to your email. Now, at this point, I've gone through like the second or third round of the interview, keeping in touch with her throughout the stages. And then what I did at this point, because I've gotten into kind of the final stages, I sent her a $25 Uber Eats gift card. And the reason I did this is $25 for how much this person's voice can advocate for me internally is nothing. This is gonna cost me $25, and I only do this at this point. Don't just blast these out to everyone and spend hundreds of dollars before they've actually given you something, right? I know already that T is gonna go to bat for me and be a champion internally and be an advocate, so I wanna make sure that she knows I've got her back too. So I sent her that $25 gift card. She said, you absolutely did not need to do that. Appreciate the gesture. Let me know the interview. Happy to help with the final stage as well. So again, she's constantly being inviting to helping me out along the way. Is amazing. Moving to the final stages. Final stage right, blah, 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 blah. They keep changing it. Yeah, it seems pretty common with remote normality, COVID life, but so far, do you have to do the same thing? Pitch interview. So I'm actually getting more and more information out of her too along the way, finding out how her interview was. Now I know she'd only been there, I believe, about a year at this point. So for me, this was kind of getting like a peek behind the curtain of what it's like to work there, what the interview process is like, and this is a very, very useful resource to have. Mine was different as it was for a management position, but a presentation style, yep, that makes sense, blah, blah, blah. Hey, so my interview is with blank and blank. It said it would be slightly informal, as more of a deep dive into the resume. I've prepped a bit of the research on both of them already and gone through the tips. Anything specific worth mentioning? And thanks a lot for the previous invite. Reference my full sales cycle role, blah, 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 blah. Hey, hope you had a great weekend. Just keeping in touch. Again, I'm asking her what I should prepare for this interview. She's saying make sure I have my KPIs, key performance indicators, basically metrics on your sales success. Again, trying to get as much information out of her without asking for like unrealistic requests, right? So now I'm building a deck to do a tail of the sale. Any insight on this? Based on the combo, make sure you incorporate any feedback. Perfect, thank you. Any chance you'd be open to taking a look at my final presentation deck? And again, I've already provided so much value that I knew that she was gonna say yes to it at this point. Sure, no problem. Can you send it my personal email? So now we're even moving off of official channels because she's so invested, she wants to open something that potentially she shouldn't open on her work email, but she'll do it off book, let's say. Make the slides somewhat readable. Taking a peek tonight, blah, 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 blah. Pro tip I was given was consider the feedback from your first interview. Amazing, finishing up the elevator pitch and I'll share it with you. She's just keeping in touch with me. And again, these are like, we're messaging each other 10 minutes apart. Like we're really, really tight at this point. And she's becoming more of like a true champion, right? So this is the final stage where it says, got your email, no problem, pretty happy with feedback where it's at, but any feedback you had, make sure to give it to me. Looks great, go kick some butt. Think it went pretty well, pretty much added verbatim all of her feedback. Hopefully find out today. Awesome, fingers crossed for you. Now this was the end of the interview process. After this was the final stage. I was down to like 2 or 3 candidates at this time. I got the offer after this. And that's pretty much the key of how I've gotten all of my roles. My first position was through LinkedIn. I didn't even realize it as I was just like adding random people and got an outreach from someone who was a sales recruiter. And then this is kind of the approach I've taken for every role since. And I've only made more and more money since this position. So I know this isn't gonna be the same route that everyone can take, but a similar format is what you should be following if you're looking to get a remote role. It is difficult to get that first one. I don't want to make it seem like this was gonna happen every single time. A lot of times they're gonna get kicked to the curb on the second stage, the third stage, the fourth stage. But if you do this method of adding value, being specific with who you're reaching out to, make sure you know the company, make sure you know the role, you're at least gonna get the foot in the door, right? That first interview where she said, my recruiter, I'll ping my recruiter and I'll surface as a referral, that's gonna get you that first conversation. And then it's really up to you. Do your research, do your due diligence, understand the company, understand who you're talking to, and then for sure, you're gonna at least get that first call. And confidence-wise, you're gonna move forward in the process. So that's it for the video. I hope this was somewhat useful. I'm not sure how many other kind of materials like this there was online, so I thought this would be valuable for some people. If it was, feel free to send it to someone else, send a thumbs up. It always helps the algorithm. But other than that, my name is Alex, Lifting Nomad, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.